You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. For more great content, including bonus videos of events in and around Paris, please join us on Patreon. Hello, and welcome to Don't Miss This, your weekly roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. I'm your host, Jennifer Geraghty, the creator and founder of the Paris Underground Radio podcast network. Season 7 of Paris Underground Radio will officially begin in October, but I couldn't make you wait that long. It's la Rentrée, and so I am back, but I'm going to be doing things a little differently. Each week, I'll share 10 of the best things happening in Paris, as I always do. But if you'd like an extended version, complete with dates and descriptions and links to not only those 10 events, but a number of others that I couldn't fit into the podcast, this week, for example, there are 10 additional events, then just head over to Patreon for your very own downloadable weekly schedule. Sign up at patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. This week begins by lavishing us with food and drink and ends by honoring heritage. In between, you'll discover famous friendships that shaped the world, tightrope walkers conquering Parisian institutions, ancient instruments transformed into musical arthropods, and so much more. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, September 10th through Saturday, September 16th, 2023. If you're like most Parisians, you are just now returning from some time away, perhaps some time abroad. If you need a little reminder of just why we are so lucky to live where we do, let me point you towards the food. More specifically, let me point you towards the Sacre Omnivore Festival. This festival celebrates the best in contemporary cuisine by bringing together Michelin-starred chefs, food producers, winemakers, young talents, and of course, food lovers. There will be 4 stages. One for chefs who will present their recipes through masterclasses. One where chefs will be interviewed about young cuisine. One for libations, where drinks range from wine to beer to coffee and cocktails, and will be presented by connoisseurs. And one for those with a sweet tooth, led by pastry chefs. You can also find tastings, demonstrations, high-end dinners, DJ sets, and food trucks. For this year's 20th anniversary, the festival will thrust Italian cuisine into the spotlight with a dedicated village of 50 Italian exhibitors and their specialties. As if that weren't enough, an omnivorous party will be held at Italy on September 11th, beginning at 7:30 p.m. And the highlight of this party will be the renowned chefs who will present their captivating culinary creations. The Sacre Omnivore 2023 Festival will be held in the Parc Floral from Sunday, September 10th through Tuesday, September 12th, from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., and the Omnivorous Party will be at Italy on Monday, September 11th, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are €15 online, and a 3-day pass is €40. For more information, please visit sacre-omnivore.com. That's SIRHA-omnivore.com. If you're looking for something to help wash down all that creative cuisine, why not head over to France Quintessence? France Quintessence is a fair dedicated to French spirits. Here you'll find spirits ranging from Calvados to Armagnac to absinthe, cognac, brandy, eau de vie, gin, sake, vodka, whiskey, and beyond. In addition to tastings, you can attend workshops, conferences on cognac and chocolates, blind tastings, and so much more. France Quintessence will be at the Savfk from Sunday, September 10th to Monday, September 11th, but please note that Monday is reserved for professionals only. Ticket prices range from €15 to €30, and more information can be found at france-quintessence.fr. That's France-QUINTESSENCE.fr. Did you have a chance to see the Sarah Bernhardt exhibit at the Petit Palais? If not, check out the bonus video I made about it over on Patreon. The Petit Palais will be following up that exhibit with Trésors en noir et blanc, or Treasures in Black and White. From its extensive collection of more than 12,000 prints, the Petit Palais has selected nearly 200 for display by 45 of history's most talented artists from around the world, including Dürer, Rembrandt, Goya, and Toulouse-Lautrec. This collection will showcase prints from the 15th to the 20th centuries, from the Italian Renaissance to modern art. You'll have the chance to discover rare pieces like Goya's bullfighting and Rembrandt's 100 Guilder print, which is notable both because it's nearly 50 centimeters wide and because it once belonged to Dominique Vivant-Denon, the first director of the Louvre. In addition, you'll learn about different printmaking techniques, including wood engraving, etching, burin, and lithography. After watching a video detailing how to make an etching, you can use a digital table to create your own piece, which will be emailed to you. And never fear, while the exhibit begins in black and white, as the name implies, it ends in color, with newly acquired prints by Auguste Renoir, Anders Zorn, and Odilon Redon, among others. Trésor en Noir et Blanc will be at the Petit Palais from Tuesday, September 12th through January 14th, 2024, and tickets are €12. For more information, please visit petitpalais.paris.fr. That's petitpalais.paris.fr. American writer and poet Gertrude Stein moved to Paris in 1903, not long after Spanish painter Pablo Picasso. These two artists, known for innovation and experimentation in their respective fields, struck up a solid and long-lasting friendship, molded by their immigrant status and poor command of the French language. Quote, their friendship crystallized around their respective work, which laid the foundations for Cubism and the pictorial and literary avant-gardes of the 20th century, end quote. It is against this backdrop that the Musée du Luxembourg has curated their exhibit Gertrude Stein et Pablo Picasso, L'invention du langage, or The Invention of Language. This exhibit will explore not only their friendship, but the impact that that friendship has had on the worlds of art, theater, music, and poetry over the course of 100 years. You'll find paintings and documents from Stein and Picasso, of course, but also pieces by artists like Henri Matisse, Marcel Duchamp, Jasper Johns, Andy Warhol, John Cage, Bob Wilson, Gary Hill, and Philip Glass. Gertrude Stein et Pablo Picasso, L'Invention du langage will be at the Musée du Luxembourg from Wednesday, September 13th through January 28th, 2024, and tickets are €14. For more information, please visit museeduluxembourg.fr. That's museeduluxembourg.fr. Let's take a quick jaunt away from the art world into water world, by which I mean let's head to the Seine and Marne rivers for a 5-day river festival, l'Odyssée, or the Odyssey. This festival celebrates the best that waterways have to offer, with floating concerts, shows, races, and more. In total, you'll find around 100 events, including the expected workshops, get-togethers, concerts, and riverside hikes. But you can also make your own unidentified floating object, attend a concert for and with bats, kayak down the river accompanied by DJ Maiko on Oriflamme, a boat designed by artist Ronan Masson, and partake in a 24-hour sail down the Seine. L'Odyssée will take place in 12 locations along the Seine and her canals, including 6B, Le Petit Bain, Canal Bar-Hauteur, and Rosa-en-Seine, and is free to attend. For more information, please visit odysseyseine.org. That's odysseyseine.org. When I say the words, animated utopian bestiary with sound, what comes to mind? If you said ancient musical instruments that have been repurposed to look like insects, well then, great guess. Also, you're right. And that's the concept behind the new Anima Ex Musica exhibit coming to the Musée de la Musique. In this collection, you'll find old musical instruments that have been dismantled and then reassembled to look like giant bugs. For example, there's a grasshopper made from 2 pianos, a beetle made of 7 drums, 2 drumsticks, 5 cymbals, 1 tambourine, and 1 bongo, and a centipede made from a grand piano, 2 upright pianos, a pneumatic piano, a Chinese mandolin, an accordion, 2 cellos, and 2 bells. And while these would be cool as simple sculptures, there's so much more to them than that. Depending on their size, these insects can also move, creating sound. And a song has been composed for each creature using sounds from the instruments they originally came from. Anima Ex Musica will be at the Musée de la Musique from Friday, September 15th through January 7th, 2024, and is free to attend. For more information, please visit philharmoniedeparis.fr. That's PHILHARMONIEDE Paris.fr. This week, there's a new moon in Virgo, Mercury goes direct, and a new exhibit opens at Galerie Huawei. Nos étoiles communes, or Our Common Stars, features astrological signs as interpreted by street artists with, quote, depth and humor. In total, you'll find 20 pieces of art created by 16 street artists, including Ami Imaginaire, Anaconda, Ardif, Dark, Joe Little, Chaz, and Vidam. Among the pieces, you'll find a new monumental fresco created on the gallery walls by Anaconda, and a live painting session by Stool titled Ciel de l'Exposition, or Exhibition Sky, will be held during the opening. Nos étoiles communes will be at the Galerie Huawei from Friday, September 15th through Sunday, October 15th, and is free to attend. The vernissage will take place on Friday, September 15th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. For more information, please visit galeriehuawei.com. That's GALERIEWAWI.com. Speaking of stars, beginning on Friday, September 15th, you can get to know the life and work of Nicolas de Staël, a key figure in the post-war French art scene, through a retrospective at the Musée d'Art Moderne. Nicolas was born in Russia in 1914, but he was forced to flee to Poland with his family at only 5 years old, where both his father and stepmother subsequently died. From there, he was sent to Brussels, where he studied design, decor, and architecture. In the 1930s, he traveled extensively, visiting Paris for the first time, a city he would later call home. In 1940, he began his career as an artist. In 1954, he moved his family to Antibes, where 1 year later, he committed suicide at the age of 41. In only 15 years, Nicolas produced 1,120 paintings, all with diverse influences and styles. He said he had a, quote, inevitable need to break everything when the machine seems to be running too smoothly, end quote, and would often switch up the tools, techniques, and mediums he used while working on multiple pieces in tandem. He also liked to experiment with different styles, including abstraction, expressionism, impressionism, naturalism, fauvism, cubism, and classic styles. In this chronologic retrospective, you'll find around 200 paintings, drawings, engravings, and notebooks, including some of his more famous masterpieces, like Parc des Princes, and around 50 pieces that have never before been shown in a French museum. You'll discover his first forays into figurative art, the large dark canvases he painted in the 1940s, and those created on the eve of his death. You can also watch an extract from the documentary Nicolas de Staël by François Lévy-Kuntz. Nicolas de Staël will be at the Musée d'Art Moderne from Friday, September 15th through January 21st, 2024, and tickets run between 13 and 15 euros. For more information, please visit mam.paris.fr. What happens when a 21-year-old college student from a small town in Kansas, who's never even before stepped foot in a big American city, decides to hop on a plane and spend her summer in Paris, France? Well, that's what award-winning student journalist Abby Riffle just did. And, lucky for us, she recorded her experiences along the way, beginning a month before she left and ending a month after she got back. Abby will take you along for the ride in the brand new podcast, A Broadening My Horizons on Paris Underground Radio, available wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Don't miss this. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. When you think of the Musée d'Orsay, you likely think of art, probably the Impressionists, or perhaps its former life as a train station. What you probably don't think of is tightrope walking, but that's all about to change. On September 16th and 17th, Nathan Poulain, who previously tightrope walked between two buildings in La Défense and between the Eiffel Tower and Trocadero, will now cross above the nave of the Musée d'Orsay, while on the ground, 9 acrobats from the Les Traceurs troupe perform aerobatics. This event has been created as part of the Cultural Olympiad, and its coincidence with the Journée de Patrimoine means it's free to attend. Les Traceurs will be at the Musée d'Orsay on Saturday, September 16th and Sunday, September 17th. For more information, please visit musée-orsay.fr. That's musée-orsay.fr. Speaking of the Journée de Patrimoine, let's get into it. These European Heritage Days are your chance to explore some of Paris's greatest sites and monuments in a way you normally can't. These events are typically free, but may require a reservation. All the heavy hitters, including the majority of Paris's museums, will be open to the public. For this 40th edition, I encourage you to explore. That being said, I've chosen 3 events to entice you that seem a little out of the ordinary and worth a closer look. First, let's head to the Musée du Quai Branly, where they're celebrating the upcoming Olympic Games with Olympic-themed events. On September 16th and 17th, you can explore one of 3 tours: Forgotten Treasures, En route to the Games, and Parcours 2024. The Forgotten Treasures tour will lead you into the Research Media Library, where you can discover some of the museum's most precious books in a unique space, normally closed to the public. Both En route to the Games and Parcours 2024 have been organized to lead you through the museum's collections in a completely new way, creating unseen links between the pieces and the world of sports. You'll come to understand the pieces in context, discovering how they were created and used. There's even a free activity book for children, helping them explore the path in a new fun way. The museum will also showcase a sculpture by Ousmane Sow titled Couple de lutteurs cœur à cœur, or Couple of Wrestlers Body to Body, on loan from the Abattoir Musée in Toulouse. The Journée du Patrimoine will take place at the Musée du Quai Branly on September 16th and 17th. Please note that while these events are free, the museum's exhibits are not. Reservations are not required, but all tours are first come, first served. For more information, please visit quaibranly.fr. That's QUAIBRANLY.fr. Now let's head over to the Fondation Lafayette Anticipation, where they have created the 2-day festival Échelle Humaine, or Human Scale Festival. Spread over 875 square meters of exhibition space, you'll discover performances, installations, practical workshops, films, discussions, collective exercises, parties, and more, centered around the themes of interaction, permeability, and transformation. For example, you can watch L'Origine de la Mort, or The Origin of Death, which, quote, explores the interaction between dance, sound, and identity against the backdrop of stories inspired by roller rink culture and the character of the vampire, end quote. Or Clarities by Ivan Chang, which, quote, disrupts the conventions of language, gender, and spectacle, end quote. There's even an ephemeral library in which you can rest, relax, even nap. The Journée du Patrimoine will take place at the Fondation Lafayette Anticipation on September 16th and 17th and is free to attend. For more information, please visit LafayetteAnticipation.com. That's LAFAYETTE anticipations.com. For this next event, let's head over to the Opéra de Paris. For one day, Saturday, September 16th, the secretive Berthier workshops will open their doors to the public. These workshops have been listed as an historic monument since 1990, and you can take a guided tour of the costume warehouse, which holds more than 60,000 costumes and accessories worn by the dancers on stage, and see where all the sets for the Garnier and Bastille opera houses are created. The very next day, Sunday, September 17th, you can take a backstage tour of Opéra Bastille. The Journée de Patrimoine will take place at the Berthier workshops on Saturday, September 16th, and the Opéra Bastille on Sunday, September 17th. Both events are free to attend, but require advanced registration. For more information, please visit opéradeparis.fr. That's opera, D-E, Paris.fr. Well, that's it for this edition of Don't Miss This. For the extended newsletter version, which includes 7 more events and 3 more Journée de Patrimoine suggestions, including written descriptions and direct links, please join me on Patreon at patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. Thank you for listening to Don't Miss This. If you like this episode, please rate and review it. It really helps. And tell a friend. That helps too. If you attend any of the events listed in this podcast, please let me know at Paris Underground Radio on Instagram or Facebook. I'm your host, Jennifer Geraghty. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria. That's JennyPhoria. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week. Happy exploring! Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Geraghty for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.